continue from there. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Harijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitam Cha Om Jnana Timirandasya Yanandana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Prarayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gora Tvije Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. All right, so first of all, a big welcome to all of the devotees on this special day, this special time, as we approach Mahaprabhu's appearance tomorrow, which is tomorrow. All over the world, it's tomorrow. And we have Audarya Leela Devinasi with us today also. Big welcome from Ireland, where it's still light by the looks of things. And Darius, Hare Krishna, welcome. You're with us also, as well as lots of devotees, our regular devotees. And Dayal Gaur Prabhu is with us this week also. And so let us begin, and we're going to begin with Kumkum Devi Rasi. I wonder when maybe Udaran Prabhu is putting out the publicity, he's got my photograph on the invitation. But actually, this is a sharing program. And as in Navadip Chaitanya Sarasat Mat, we want to be able to have different speakers speak, but we want to be able to hear Hari Katha from the devotees. So I'll pass a microphone over to Kumkum Devi Dasi, and you can put it just on the desk. I think it's not necessary to clip it on, as we see. Yes. And she's got some excerpt, and we both got lost today in different places, but lost while looking for quotes, something to read and something to share today. So first of all, from Kumkum, we've got some quote, I think, from Golden Volcano of Divine Light.
My dandavat to you, Maharaj, to all of the devotees worldwide. What a very auspicious day. Every year, this good fortune comes to us, and we get to try to increase a bit our seva, our chanting, and dive even deeper into the great treasures that have been given to us by our gurus. And I thought of something that always pops into my mind at this time of the year, because Srila Prabhupada used to always point out how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is non-different than Krishna. And although we hear the term incarnation applied to him, or avatar, actually he is non-different than Krishna. He doesn't have less than Krishna, less qualities, and we are completely dependent on this great mercy. So I found something in Golden Volcano which expresses what I'm trying to say. This is in a chapter in the first part of Golden Volcano called The Golden Avatar. And there's a section there called The Hidden Incarnation. So it's something for us to think more deeply about, not necessarily straightforward in the ways that our logistical intelligence might work. But Srila Guru Maharaj explains this perfectly well. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a hidden incarnation. He comes in disguise. Such an avatar is worshipped by the divinely intellectual. In this way, the Srimad Bhagavatam first describes that uncommon, extraordinary personality, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in a mystic way, and then proclaims his nobility and greatness. The Srimad Bhagavatam explains that same personality who came as Ramachandra and Krishna has again appeared. He has come to direct you to the real fulfillment of life. He is drawing the sweetest nectar from above for the sake of everyone. Only meditate on him and all your troubles will be finished. He is the agent purifying all the holy places of pilgrimage and saintly persons by his touch, by his Sankirtan, by his drawing the highest things down from the highest plane, and even Brahma and Shiva, puzzled by his noble gift, will begin to praise him. They will eagerly aspire to take shelter under his lotus feet and surrender. The pains of all who come to serve him will be removed, and their inner necessities will be fulfilled. And he will take care of those who take shelter of him. They will be given protection as well as everything they may need. In this world where mortality rules, where we are continually experiencing the undesirable changes of repeated birth and death, in this area where no one wants to live, a great ship will come for us and take us within and carry us away from this unpleasant position. Let us fall at the feet of that great personality who comes to give us the highest nectar. So so many people, great scholars, are reading Srimad Bhagavatam and learning about the different incarnations of Krishna or Vishnu, however they want to refer to this, but only through our grand gurus are we getting this extra special blessing to welcome Sriman Mahaprabhu in this particular Leela of his and try to become his servitors and the servants of his servitors. Jai.
Jai.
Govinda, Govinda. You see, the numbers in the temple room here are multiplying. But there are still more devotees out there. So here, we have also been remembering that today is the last day of Navadip Down Parikrama as held in Chaitanya Saraswat Math during the time of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. And it is the Adhivas of Mahaprabhu's appearance, but it is also the day when the devotees, they went down to Samudraga, they went around the different parts of Ritudeep, Janudeep, Modadrumadeep, and maybe part of Rudradeep, I'm not very sure. But we were talking this morning and asking questions to ourselves about Vidyanagar. And so it's this is one short section I can't copy and paste it in because it's the book. So Chaitanya Devidasi and Hari Gopal Prabhu, you can look at the book of Navadip Dham Mahatmya, which is on the web, the PDF version, and the one with the Bengali, etc. in, and the page number, well, page 279 for the translators. But I can try to read anyhow, slowly. So the first verse is, the first verse is Jaya Gaura Nityananda Advaita Gadadhara Srivasa Sri Navadipa Kirtana Sagara. So pretty much everybody knows more or less what we're saying there. All glory to Gaura, Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadha, Srivas, and the ocean of Kirtan, Sri Navadip Dham. So I don't know if our translators found it, but verse 2. So remember, so what's being described here is Nityananda Prabhu taking Jiva Goswami on parikrama, means circumambulating the holy places in the 9 islands of Navadip. Text 2 is, coming to Vidyanagar, Nityananda Rai taught Sri Jiva the importance of this town. And we know that Vidya is knowledge and avidya is ignorance. So Vidyanagar. So Nityananda said to Jiva Goswami, during the destruction of the universe, the eternal abode of Navadip remains undisturbed as an 8-petaled lotus. All the avatars and thousands of fortunate souls stay in one part of that lotus. In Vidyanagar within Ritudip, the Lord as Matsya, who you all know, I think, is the fish incarnation of the Lord. The Lord as Matsya holds all the Vedas. The Vedas, which contain all knowledge, took shelter and stayed here. They named this place Sri Vidya Nagar. And when Brahma desired to create the world again, he saw the full devastation and became extremely afraid. At that time, the Lord bestowed mercy upon him, Lord Brahma. He received that mercy here and then prayed to the Lord. As he opened his mouths, the extremely beautiful goddess Saraswati manifest from his tongues. Remember, he has 4 heads, Lord Brahma. Inconceivable to us, and that's still the material world. What to speak of understanding the spiritual world. So, the beautiful goddess Saraswati manifested from his tongues. Becoming empowered by Saraswati, 4-headed Brahma prayed to Krishna and felt great satisfaction. When creation takes place, Maya remains on the bank of the Viraja river and envelops all directions with the 3 modes of material nature. The sages then reveal knowledge within that world manifested by Maya. So the sages then reveal knowledge within that world manifested by Maya. They take shelter in this abode of Saraswati and conquer ignorance. They study the 64 branches of knowledge, and then teach them at various places on the earth. The residences of all the sages who study each and every type of knowledge are present here eternally. Sri Valmiki came here by the grace of Narad and learned the art of poetry. And Valmiki, he's, okay, we'll have to come to that another time. But he gave us the Ramayana, which is many verses, I forget how many, but it's a lot of verses. And so Valmiki came here by the grace of Narad and learned the art of poetry. Dhanvantari came here and learned Ayurveda. Vishvamitra and others learned archery, the bow and arrow. Shaunaka and other sages studied Vedic mantras. The god of gods, Lord Shiva, studied Tantra. At the request of the sages, the 4 Vedas manifested from the 4 mouths of Lord Brahma. Kapila resided here and wrote about Sankhya. And Sri Gautama Rishi wrote texts about logic and argument. Kanada wrote Vaisheshika, and Patanjali wrote texts on yoga, as some of you may know. Jaimini wrote texts about Mimamsa, and Veda Vyas wrote the Puranas and other texts. Nara and 4 other sages wrote the Pancharatras and taught souls spiritual practices. In this garden, all the Upanishads worshipped Sri Gauranga for a long time. So remember, this is all about the place today where the devotees visit, one of the places where they visit. And invisibly, Sri Gauranga said to them, the conception of formlessness has polluted your hearts. This is the Upanishads. Mahaprabhu said to the personified Upanishads, the conception of formlessness has polluted your hearts. As scriptures, you will not attain me. But when you take birth as my associates in my manifest pastimes, you will see me and loudly chant my glories. Hearing this, the Upanishads became silent and secretly waited here. Now, important verse, many, all are important, but an important verse. This glorious age of Kali Yuga, Jai, in which Gauranga has descended, is the best of all ages. Hearing that Gauranga Sundar would perform pastimes of scholarship, Brihaspati and his associates took birth. So this is the part that we were researching from this morning. As Vasudev Sarvabhauma, Brihaspati endeavored greatly to please Gauranga. So in Gauranga's pastimes, Brihaspati came here as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. So Sarvabhauma, knowing within his heart, my Lord will perform pastimes of scholarship in Navadip, and becoming detached, Brihaspati left the assembly of Indra with his associates. I wonder what Indra said about that. Joyfully, he and his associates took birth in various places. Brihaspati made a school in Vidyanagar and taught here as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, thinking later I may sink into the net of knowledge and forget Gauranga. He performed a trick, keeping his disciples in Nadia, which is the district of Navadvip. Keeping his disciples in Nadia, he went elsewhere before the birth of Gaura. He thought, if I am Gaura's servant, then my Lord will mercifully bring me to his side. Thinking this, Sarvabhauma went to Nilachal, Jagannath Puri, and propagated texts on Mayavad. Oh dear, there. Here, during his pastimes of scholarship, Gaurachandra Prabhu defeated and joked with the disciples of Sarvabhauma. Because remember, Sarvabhauma left his disciples behind. He made a trick. So the disciples were still there that had been taught by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. But Gaurachandra defeated and joked with the disciples of Sarvabhauma. Sometimes the Lord came to Vidyanagar, posed trick questions, and defeated everyone. Defeated, all the teachers and students would flee. Then a beautiful verse for us all. Ignorance leaves those who hear about Gauranga's extraordinary pastimes of scholarship. And we are all reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And so all of you are hearing about the pastimes of Mahaprabhu's extraordinary scholarship. Anyhow, just a couple more verses. So we're on verse 43, believe it or not. Hearing this, so now the narration is taking place. We've heard what Nityananda was saying to Jiva Goswami. So hearing this with the joy of divine love, Jiva Goswami, rolled on the ground at the school in Vidyanagar, filled with divine love. At the holy feet of Nityananda, he submitted. We've just covered this point. We won't read the whole book, even though it's easy. It's easy not to stop, if you know what I mean. So Jiva Goswami submitted this at the feet of Nityananda Prabhu. Jiva Goswami said, I have a doubt. Please cut it away. Knowledge of analysis and argument are inauspicious. So how do they reside in the eternal Dham? Hearing this, Nityananda Prabhu embraced Jiva and affectionately said, Hari Hari Bol. There you are. But that's just the beginning of the answer. That he affectionately embraced him and said, Hari Hari Bol. And then Nityananda said, nothing is inauspicious in the holy abode of the Lord. Here, argument and analysis have no power of their own. Here, everything is dependent on devotion and serves devotion. As a result of their sins, the wicked think the opposite. Here, the goddess of devotion is supreme. Everyone is her servant, and everything reveals her. Navadvip is the abode of the ninefold practice of devotion. Here, action and knowledge always serve devotion. The scriptures give misconceptions to those who are averse, and the scriptures give love for Krishna to those who are gentle. That's all of you, to the gentle souls. All right, I will stop here. But just when we do the parakram, when we participate in the parakram of Navadip, then today being the last day, then of course devotees can be quite tired by the last day. But one of the places we go to, one of the last places we go to is Vidyanagar. And one of the loudest kirtans on the whole Navadip Dham Parikrama, this is loudest kirtan, without loudspeakers and all the modern additions. But one of the loudest kirtans I've been in has been in Vidyanagar, at this place understood to be that school where Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was teaching Mayavad to his students. And in there, it's an old temple. I don't know whether it is actually 500 years old, but it's a very old building with lots of trees. There's not a lot of space, and there are usually a lot of devotees, and maybe 4 mridangas also, and it's just happy to share. And Vidyanagar feels, even to the mundane people, like it's such a special place. And we are hearing something today from this tiny part of the whole of the Navadip Dham Parikrama. And it is the Adhivas of Mahaprabhu's appearance, and the last place that the devotees visit, in the sense of a specified place of pilgrimage, is the appearance place of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. And reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, hearing from Guru Maharaj, hearing from Srila Gurudev, then we hear repeatedly the glories of Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. He gave the book Sri Chaitanya Mangal, which became later known as Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat, and Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj, who then in the next generation came to write Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, is always giving this full credit to Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur, saying that he is the Vyasa, the Vyasa of Mahaprabhu Leela. He is the authorized giver of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, just as Sri Dvaipayan Veda Vyas, that he is the giver of the Vedas, the older Vedas. Then Krishnadas Kaviraj says, this is the similar position of Vrindavan Das Thakur. So visiting Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur's appearance place is a great time of remembrance of the recording and revelation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. And remember that Vrindavan Das Thakur, he himself says that in future the Vyasa of Chaitanya Leela will take birth and give the Leela of Mahaprabhu. So this indicates Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, and Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj, he is giving indication to Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. So that is the place, the last place that we go to. And there, it used to be that there we would have lunch prasadam. The prasadam is cooked in our temple and then brought in the back of maybe more than one truck, the open back truck, in those giant, I think 200-liter or something like that, drums, and large transfer containers. But as the numbers grew, the area was not sufficient, and so arrangement was made in a nearby field for prasadam, and then usually a little bit late prasadam. In fact, always, I think, a little late prasadam. But it was a late breakfast as well. They had quite a long walk before breakfast. And then after that, devotees with Harinam Sankirtan come and return to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat mat. And returning to the mat, they will be singing that kirtan on page 299 in the songbook, which is Nadia Nagare Brahmiya. Let me just get it so I get it right. Nagara Brahmiya Amar Gore Elo Gore, Gore Elo Gore Amar Nitya Elo Gore, Dhula Jhari Shachi Mata Gora Kale Kore, Anandete Bhaktagane, Hari Hari Bole. And sometimes they chant those 4 lines for half an hour. Again and again and again, jumping up and down with the mridangas, doing parikrama of the temple. Even it is late afternoon, hopefully early evening, not too late in the evening that they get back. So it's late afternoon. But this is the climax of all of the parikrama part of the festival of Mahaprabhu's appearance. And they've not only survived, they have thrived, doing the parikrama of the 8 petals of Navadip and the 9th island, the island of Antadeep, of Mayapur. So this is the climax, and somehow or another, the energy of the devotees kind of coming back on this last day in particular is very wonderful. And this is a special song. I can read the translation, but it is just so traditional in the temple and has such a beautiful feeling for everyone who's been in Navadip and who can relate to the fact we don't have to have been in Navadip, just to have feel that this kirtan is so joyful for the devotees' hearts. So giving the translation, after parikrama of the town, Gauranga returns to his house, and Nitai also comes to the house. Dusting off his body, Shachi Mata takes Gauranga upon her lap. So this is Mahaprabhu's mother. But remember, Gauranga is 2.3 meters tall or something. So this is all it's all inconceivable, as we said about Lord Brahma's 4 heads, and that's about, the Lord of the spiritual world. So Gauranga and Sachimata, about Brahma is the Lord of the material world, but Gauranga and Sachimata, they've come directly from the spiritual world with the spiritual world. So anyway, Sachimata takes Gauranga upon her lap and dusts off his body because he's all dusty after doing parikrama. So out of great spiritual joy, all the devotees are chanting Hari Hari Bol. And it is worth getting the word for this. It's fairly straightforward. And maybe you can all just do a quick word for word with the help of the ISKCON database, which is very helpful for word by word. But Nagara Brahmiya Amara Gora Elo Ghore, Gora Elo Ghore, Amar Nitai Elo Ghore, Dhula Jhari Shachimata Gora Kole Kore, Anandete Bhaktagane, Hari Hari Bole. And actually, if you do read Chaitanya Charitamrita regularly, you know all these words. You don't have to look any of them up. And they're all happy words. Hare Krishna. So this is the Adhivas. Okay, and then we get back to Chaitanya Saraswat Maharaj. And don't think there is any rest. Maybe there's rest for the good devotees, but there is an expression in English, there is no rest for the wicked. And so some of us got plenty of seva to do once we got back to the temple. And one of those sevas is finalizing the decorations in particular for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Mahaprabhu's appearance day. And so that is the day for the temple to be decorated, the Nat Mandir to be decorated, the surrounding area, Gurudev's veranda, Guru Maharaj's veranda, and nowadays the samadhis of Srila Gurudev and Srila Guru Maharaj. And this would be, the duty after coming back. Then hopefully we have a quick shower and get ready and just see what else needs to be done. And as you know, the temple room, not the temple room, but the Nat Mandir, the dancing hall, will be full of devotees that evening for the arati and then for the programs, the seated programs, etc. And this evening will be quite noisy and quite full, so it's not possible to put up decorations while the Nat Mandir is full. And so all the decorations were being prepared to the side or outside or to the side. And then as soon as everyone goes for prasadam, then a team of devotees comes to put up the decorations. And that can go all the way into 1 a.m., 2 a.m. And certainly some times devotees are up all night, not even a moment of sleep, and then starting next day with the early morning artis, etc. And Gaura Purnima day comes, and the good news is that from an external view, the good news is that the Gaura Purnima day is generally a gentle day for the devotees. They've been doing parikrama, walking, so many things these last few days, singing, chanting, sankirtan. And then the decorations, all those things that need to be done. And then the actual day of Gaura Purnima, it is a fasting day, which is number one, but it's a day when the preparations are already made. And so it's a day for reading from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and doing the extra bhajans, and initiations in the time of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj. That would be a day where traditionally the devotees would receive initiation. And in the later years, there will be quite a lot from the villages also, from the village preaching. Everything expanded a lot. So it was, the last years, it was quite a strong day for Gurudev. And he would get the assistance of the senior sannyasis, leading sannyasis, to assist him on that day by them chanting on the beads, and then Gurudev giving the beads to the devotees with the initiation. And then the afternoon, going gently, there'll be reading all day, and in the afternoon, we'll be reading Chaitanya Charitamrita leading up to the end of the day and the beginning of the evening. And that time, then Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 13, that section where leading up to Mahaprabhu's appearance, then his appearance, and then the joy of Advaita Acharya, of Haridas Thakur, of Advaita's wife Sita, and all the devotees, the joy that this baby is being born who's very special, they know it. So this is all coming up tomorrow. But today is the Adhivas day, and so some sharing of the glories of Navadip, just a speck, a little part about where the devotees went today and what they've been hearing. And we must all remember how important is Navadip Dham, how important is Hari Nam Sankirtan, how important is the advent of Mahaprabhu, who in one aspect of his advent inaugurated the Yuga Dharma of chanting the holy names of the Lord. And not only the holy names, not any holy names, but he inaugurated the chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, It is not some fashion of the modern world. This is given in the ancient scriptures as the Maha Mantra for Kali Yuga. So this opportunity has now come to us to be connected with those teachings of Mahaprabhu from 500 years ago. Has come to us through the Parampara system. And we are all trying our best and hoping that we can hold on to that descending current that's coming from Mahaprabhu, that we can hold on and just make our actual life, this human life, successful. So these are a few words from me. Okay? But we've got many devotees here. And devotees today have been putting up decorations in many places. And we saw in St. Petersburg earlier today the live footage, the live putting up of decorations. And so not only St. Petersburg, but everywhere will be busy. And here we've got devotees who've come from Rome to be with us. They've come from France to be with us. And from around and about, we've got an extra bit of gathering, as well as, of course, already here from Brazil, from California, from Israel. Hare Krishna. And we have all of you with us too, including Prafulla Krishna Prabhu. Prafulla Prabhu, we do remember you, and I've been missing seeing you recently, and remembering you. I was remembering you just yesterday because I was with our two Brazilian devotees who are going back to Brazil after a couple of days. Akaleshwar Prabhu and Kirtida Devirasi. We went up to Montevecchio yesterday, and I was just being reminded, before we had Google Maps and Google all these things, how we go in the forest and try to find our way back to the
Dhanavat Maharaj, the good old times. Good to talk to you.
Without Google Maps. Yeah.
Dhanavat.
Dandavat Prabhu. Hope all is well. And we crossed the river a few days ago at the bottom there, but we were unsuccessful to cross it without getting wet and ended up walking across it. So we had some mini adventures with the devotees. Any question from anywhere or any contribution, something anyone would like to share who may have been in Navadip at this time? Actually, that's Prafulla Krishna Prabhu. He will have been in Navadip at Gaura Purnima time. Did your long legs take you on all the parikramas?
Long ago, Maharaj. A few times.
Anything you would like to share?
Just the beauty of being with the devotees in such a special moment. And being with Gurudev in Navadvip was also very special. In Calcutta was good, but in Navadvip was also extra sweet. And Gaura Purnima was the time to have him in Navadvip. And the whole environment, everything there was so nice. Good memories, Maharaj.
And can you remember something about this day in particular? Are you one of those who were jumping up and down and chanting for half an hour?
Not really. I remember one day that you got me and Gaura Chandra from Venezuela to print some things on the street on the very Gaura Purnima day, which is also holy. And we were like so soaked in ink, like in paint. And it was just to bring some printed, I think, songs or something like in that very day, because I think it was missing. And it was a very interesting adventure. After all the parikrama, everything was fine. Like everybody was happy. But that day, I do not recommend going out. Still, it was so beautiful.
Thank you for that reminder. And Prabhu, I promise I wouldn't have asked you to go out if it was not necessary, but I know what was required that day. It was these, the verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we printed, well, you went and printed them out so that devotees would have them readily in their hands. And so everyone is grateful to you for that. And when you see, there is some footage and some photos of Srila Gurudev on Gaurapunima Day in the evening, singing those verses, and all the devotees around them, they're holding the paper and reading from the paper. So that was by your sacrifice to go and get covered in colored paint, colored dye, to go to get those Xeroxed, as they say, photocopied.
And at that time, the paint was not like today. They use this natural coloring that leaves your body soon. I think we were stained like for a month. It was quite funny.
And for those who don't know, Holi, which is Holi, is a festival called Holi. And somehow or another, in Navadip, they observe Holi on that day, which is a festival of spraying color, either throwing powdered colored dye on anybody and everybody, especially a non-Indian. Anyway, they throwing, but on everybody, not only non-Indians. Yes, Prabhu.
No, it was just a very good time, Maharaj. And the whole parikrama, the mood, everybody kind of getting together in the ashram, camping everywhere, the prasadam distribution, everything was very intense and so beautiful. And the whole Navadvip gets that mood and vibe. And I think it reminds us of what is possible for a spiritual life. The kind of energy and love is kind of palpable there.
And not only what is possible, what is the nature of Krishna's land and of Mahaprabhu's land, their eternal land. We've had a glimpse of that. We've had some idea of what is there in the upper world. It's just that we are not there, we are here. Just like we say, we all know about New York, we all know about some famous city, but we are not there. But we know that New York exists, but we are somewhere else. It's not that we are inventing New York in our mind, but it exists. So more so, the land of reality, the beauty exists. It's just we are not there.
And I always like to remember your service mood, Maharaj, how much service you do, not sleeping, getting your straw mat. Because the mat was so full, like you would sleep on the hallways, in the rooftops, in your very thin straw mat, and you give the best accommodations for the incoming devotees. You were very exemplary for me, at least, and for us. So thank you so much for taking care of us and being such an example.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, all that is just absolutely natural. Village India is like that. We see that in the hospitality, the kindness, when we go collecting for Gaurapanima, for instance. When we go to the villagers, they basically give their own houses, and wherever they go, I don't know, but they give their houses for the visiting devotees. And it's just natural. We give whatever facility that we can give to others so that the pilgrims can be as comfortable as possible, and still maybe not comfortable, but comfortable as possible. But Prabhu, so all a team, and actually the example is Gurudev, the example is Guru Maharaj, and we just want to be their servitor, and everybody who comes wants to be their servitor. They want to engage in the land of service. That's why they're coming from so far. And you, Prafula, also serving nature, servitor nature with such good heart. and everybody appreciated that, headed by Srila Gurudev. Hare Krishna. And here we've got lots and lots of devotees on the screen, 45 windows on the screen, and also recorded, yes, recorded. And we know some devotees see the recorded versions. And I mean, really, to all of you, we know that if you're here, then you are in that department of the hearty, soft-hearted, sincere devotees. And this is what is expected of us by Gurudev and by Guru Maharaj. Isn't it Vasudev Ghosh who gave that poem or that kirtan, Jadi Gora Nahoto, if Mahaprabhu didn't come, then where would we be? We wouldn't know anything about the topmost goal of life. And in that song he also says, keep your heart simple and just chant happily the glories of Gauranga. So this is what Gurudev showed, and you are all trying, we are trying, and we're all trying together as a team. Guru Maharaj gave that example of this Machita Madgata Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti Cha Ramanti Cha. This morning we heard from Srila Guru Maharaj in the sermons of the Guardian of Devotion, where he was saying that verse where the devotees come together and they nourish each other by their company of Hare Katha, of sharing, then he gave the example about that everyone is helping everyone else. Like, as an example, the Napoleonic chair, which was when on some occasion during war with Napoleon is going somewhere to defeat, presumably somewhere. But while they are traveling at night, one night, they're in wet land and it's very cold. So Napoleon, he gave the instruction that everybody sit like as though you're on a chair, but you sit on the knee of the person behind you who will sit on somebody else's knee. And then in a circle, everyone is sitting on somebody else's knee and can huddle close and keep warm. And Guru Maharaj said, otherwise they would have perished. They would have died that night. But they all helped each other. And so we also must not perish. We must not die. We must help each other in this journey. And this is Sadhu Sangha. This is that verse from Bhagavad Gita of sharing with each other. Hare Krishna. And we have Chinmoy Dev here. We have Chinmoy Dev here. And he is a veteran from Navadip also. And we can ask Chinmoy Dev to say a few words, to share something. You can just put it. Oh, that should be fun.
And about Pranams, I think we now know why the Zoom has the picture of Madhusudan Maharaj. Jai.
What?
Maharaj. Because you were the main speaker. You were the one giving the nectar.
Oh, the advertisement.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Hare Krishna.
So it's always very wonderful to hear these topics from a Vaishnava and someone who has actually imbibed this type of feeling. On the other hand, I'm just listening happily to the descriptions given by the Vaishnavas, descriptions of Mahaprabhu and his holy Ram and his associates. What I can say is there was one talk of Srila Maharaj where he is describing the glories of the holy name, the glories of Mahaprabhu, the distributor of this holy name, giving out to the masses the highest conception of reality, the highest type of ecstasy. And at one point, a devotee says, sincerely, he says, but why? Why would the Lord do this? And this is the nature of Mahaprabhu. The special characteristic of Mahaprabhu is his magnanimous nature, the desire for self-distribution. So not only experiencing this Krishna Prem, the love of God, but also trying to distribute it without any consideration of varna or ashram, without any consideration of caste. That this highest conception of reality is for everyone. There's no quality, there's no qualification you must have. Just chant the holy name and you will get everything. This type of self-distribution was occurring in the time of Mahaprabhu and is occurring still today through the grace and mercy of our spiritual masters. So he came to do that. He came to distribute this Krishna Prem to the lowest of the low. And Guru Maharaj says that for a patient who has the greatest disease, who is most fallen, most sick, what is needed is the strongest medicine. And so in this age of Kali Yuga, when we are the most fallen and we cannot follow any type of rules or restrictions or scriptural injunctions, or we can't follow any type of scriptural laws purely. What is given to us is the most simple thing: sound. Just chant the name. Just chant the holy name and you will get everything. So we live in that era, and like it was said, I can't remember who said it, but one of our speakers said today is that this Kali Yuga, oh yes, it was, I believe Nityananda was saying, or Gino the Founder, somebody was saying that this age of Kali Yuga is the greatest age because Mahaprabhu has come and is distributing the holy name. And we are finished here for today. These are a few short words, but I will say something that I heard Srila Maharaj recently say, and I always touch on these things because I believe there's shlokas in the scriptures, but Guru Maharaj had the ability to compose English shlokas. So one of them I heard recently is, he said, capturing the capacity of beauty. The only quality of beauty is its capturing capacity. And the captured are mad. So we wish to be counted as amongst the mad who are captured by the beauty of the holy name of the Lord and his associates. Jai.
Haribol, Haribol. All right, so we wish you all a very special Gaura Purnima tomorrow, and it's not a feasting day. It's opposite. It's a fasting day. So let it be special that none of us waste any time, use any time non-Gauranga centered. Let us try to make the appearance day of Gauranga that kind of a day for us all. And the next day is for feasting. Feasting on Mahaprasad in remembrance of Jagannath Mishra, the father of Nimai Sundar, the feast that he gave the day after the appearance of Gaurachandra. So with all these thoughts, wherever you are in the world, to have your heart at the feet of Gauranga. Do your best. There's so much to read. You have the whole Chaitanya Charitamrita. You've got 72 verses of Prema Dharmadeva Stotram. You've got lots and lots of things. The whole of the golden volcano of divine love, loving the Lord's loving search for his lost servant, affectionate guidance, revealed truth. There's an ocean of beautiful things for us to read, to hear, and we'll try to do Harinam Sankirtan, to chant as much as possible with the devotees tomorrow. So now we'll give the jais now, and as we do sometimes, we will sing. We're going to sing, but I'll have to change the camera settings. So what we'll sing is page 299, because today is the Adhivas day, and we were saying about this kirtan, and we'll try to get it a little bit right. We might not be jumping up and down and covered in dirt and sweat and dust. The holy dust, by the way, of the Dham when we're in Navadip. But we will try to give our heart to the meaning and to the mood that this kirtan is sung, especially on this day at the conclusion of this, the Harinam Sankirtan Parikramas that have taken place day by day. In the meantime, Jai to our wonderful super Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai to our wonderful and super Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakhab, Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. And Jai to our wonderful empowered incarnation of Nityananda Prabhu, empowered by Nityananda Prabhu, Vishwarenya, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. And Jai to Bhagavan, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Our whole Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga Ki Jai. To Sri Navadip Dham of all dhams, the topmost, Sarva Dharma Sar Ki Jai. And Jai to Navadip, the deities of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, Saparika Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhava Govinda Sundar Ju Ki Jai. And we are seated here. Jai Saparika Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhavika Gopinath Ju and Shri Giriraj Balagopal Ju Ki Jai. And Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. All Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. All the assembled devotees Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari. So we're going to change our microphone settings so it will sound a little different when we speak, but we hope it'll be okay when we sing. Oops, we'll try not to play the cartels, etc. too loud. Anyhow, we are going to chant this Nagarin. Nagara, Brahmya, Amar, Gora, Elo, Gore. So the towns and villages wandering around, my Gora came to his home. Nagara, Brahmya, Amar, Gora, Elo, Gore. Am I the Mridanga player? Okay, sorry about that. I'm the Mridanga player, it seems.
Yes, it is.
Okay, Nitai Go Premanandi. Nagara Brahmya Raman Gora Elo Ghore. Nagara Brahmya Raman Gora Elo Ghore. Nagara Brahmya Raman Gora Elo Ghore. Amar Nita Elo Gore. Gore Elo Gore Amar Nita Elo Gore. Gore Elo Gore Amar Nita Elo Gore. Gore Elo Gore Amar Nita Elo Gore. Kula Jhari Sachi Mata Gora Kole Kore. 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 Nanandete Bhakti Gane Hari Hari Bole. 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 Nagara Brahmya Rama Gora Elo Gore. Nagara Brahmya Rama Gora Elo Gore. Gora Elo Gore Amar Nita Elo Gore. Gora Elo Gore Amar Nita Elo Gore. Kula Jhari Chachi Mata Gora Kole Kore. Kula leave you with a view of the deities and take a quick look in the chat box. Oh, another, he gave, a little bit late for me to notice it. On kirtan.site, Nazar gave the URL for this kirtan we were just singing, and Tungaras has been sending lots of flowers and all good things and obeisances in picture form, just see. Hieroglyphics, just like the Egyptians. All right, dear devotees, and maybe Kamala Sundari, now French Kamala Sundari, no longer Ukrainian. She can show you from this camera here, it'll... Okay.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so the Lord wanted to hide for a short while, but here he is. Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhavika Gopinath Ju Ki Jai. All right, dear devotees. Hey! Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Amra Aschi Govinda 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 Gopala Gopala.